In this video, we are going to use a great Excel function that searches for values in different tables and spreadsheets and returns it depending on different criteria. This function improved a lot the way I work with Excel, and it might also improve yours. Hi, my name is Christian. I have always enjoyed working with spreadsheets. Index match and VLOOKUP helped me a lot in my Excel journey. But then it was released, and it changed my whole experience with Excel forever. This formula was implemented in April 2020 and is the successor of the good old VLOOKUP, but also a replacement for the index match. This formula I enjoyed that much is called Xlookup. Unfortunately, this type of wizardry is available only for Excel version 2021 or later, for Microsoft 365 subscription or Excel Online. What is so special about this formula? Let me show you. Here I have an Excel file with two spreadsheets. One spreadsheet is for sales of ice cream products, and the other one is a spreadsheet for the inventory of those ice cream products. To make our work easier during this tutorial, first let's make sure that the spreadsheets contain not just some organized data, but actually tables that we can call within the functions. Let's select the data from this spreadsheet, and it seems it doesn't have any table, so let's select all of it. Keep pressed Ctrl Shift, then press on the right arrow, press again the down arrow. Now we have selected all the data for the table that we want to create. And now to create a table, just press Ctrl T. Make sure that my table has headers is checked and then click OK. So now a table has been created, and we could rename our table to inventory. Let's do the same thing for the sales spreadsheet. Let's select all the data for this table in here. Press Ctrl Shift, right arrow, down arrow, then Ctrl T, OK, and change the name to sales. So now we have two tables, inventory table and sales table. So we are going to proceed to implementing the Xlookup function. Let's create within this table a new column, because you see we have a product code in this table, but we don't have a product name. But in the inventory table, we actually have a product name. So we will use the Xlookup function to look up the product name by using the product code. Let's write in here product name. And now let's write our function. Equal Xlookup, open round bracket, and now we need to insert a lookup value. The value that we will use to search for the data within different table. And our lookup value is the product code. So click on here. And because we created an actual table within Excel, you see we don't have the cell number. We have a product code column, and this AT means in this row. So we are telling that in this row from product code is the lookup value. Next, comma, and we need to insert the lookup array. Our lookup array is within the inventory table, which is product ID. So we could select it by clicking on the header of the table, but we could also write in here sales or inventory. These are the tables that we created, and we know that the lookup array is in the inventory table. So we have it in here. We can click on it, or we can press on tab. After we inserted the table name, open a square bracket, and here we have all the columns within the table. We could press the arrows, the down arrow, and we need to go to product ID, because this is the array where we are searching for the product code. We can press on tab to select this column and close square bracket. Now put it in a comma, and now we need to give the function the return array. Our return array would be the product name. So we know that we need to insert the inventory table. Click on tab, open square bracket, and select by the arrows the product name and press tab again. Close square bracket, close round bracket. And now our function is ready. Let's press on enter. And also, because we have an actual table, the Xlookup function automatically filled all the other cells. Now what we can also do is to create another column. Let's create it in here, which we will call acquisition price. And you can see the column has been automatically created. And let's exercise once again the Xlookup function. Xlookup, you can start writing the formula and then press on tab, so your function will be automatically filled. We know that our lookup value is the product code, so we could either click on it or we could write our table. We will just click on it. So we selected this row from the product code column, comma, our lookup array, we know it's within the inventory table, open square bracket, select product ID, press on tab, close the square bracket, comma, and now we need to give it the return array. And the return array is also in the inventory table. Click on tab, open square bracket, and here we have acquisition price per unit. Let's press on tab again, close square bracket, close round bracket. Now we have the acquisition price. That's great. Now what we could do is to calculate the profit for the sold pieces. And we know that the profit equals selling price minus cost price, or in our case, minus acquisition price. So our formula will be to subtract from the price per unit sold the acquisition price and then multiply it by sold pieces. Let's create a new column here. We will call it profit. And we could do either price per unit sold minus acquisition, put it into round brackets and multiply it by 3, or multiply it by sold pieces. Or we could try and use the lookup function. So let's try and use the lookup function to get a little bit more exercise. So we know that our price unit is in this table. So here we will open the round bracket and select price per unit sold. Then we need to subtract the acquisition price. And we know that our acquisition price is within the inventory table. So we are going to write Xlookup, open round bracket. Our lookup value will be the product code. Then the lookup array will be inventory product ID, close square bracket, and the return array will be within the inventory table, the acquisition price. Now we close round bracket. So we subtracted from the price per unit sold the acquisition price. Now we multiply it by the sold pieces. I am missing a parenthesis, which it might be here. So seems I did a mistake. I didn't put the round bracket in the right place. I think it was supposed to be in here. So now we have used the Xlookup to calculate our profit. Next, let me show you what Xlookup function can also do. Let's create a new spreadsheet. And within this new spreadsheet, let's create a small table. Let's say product ID, product name, product type, country of origin, and acquisition price. And here what we could do is to insert a product ID. Let's go for banana. It's IC214. Let's copy and paste it in here. The lookup value is this one within the inventory table, product ID, and the return array. We can select this whole bunch of columns. So if we press on enter, our single Xlookup function has looked up for multiple data. So the advantage of Xlookup is that it can look up for multiple columns at once, but the caveat here is that the columns need to be consecutive. So if you want to insert an adjacent column, for example, the acquisition price, which is after the stock quantity, we won't be able to select it. In this case, we will need to use more advanced functions. So that's a disadvantage of the Xlookup. But of course, anytime we can write another Xlookup function where we can easily get the acquisition price. So product ID, inventory, and acquisition price. So within a couple of seconds, we looked up our value. Let's try now one more thing. Let's try another product ID. So let's try G132. So G_132. So it automatically looks up for the value, but let's try 900. And oops, we got an error. This #NA error means that the Xlookup function wasn't able to find the match for the lookup value. So we were searching for G900, but G900 doesn't exist in our inventory table. So we got an error. But fortunately, Xlookup has another condition within the syntax, which is optional, and it's called if not found. So after the return array, we could insert a condition that will tell what to display instead of the error. So we could just open the quotes and write in here value not found. So instead of the error, we get an text, custom text. Now let's say that we want to calculate the profit per unit that we can make for any of the products within this spreadsheet. Let's go to a correct product code IC214. Let's copy it in here. And let's say that now we want to calculate the profit for this product per one unit. So let's write in here another column, which say profit per unit. What we could do is we could insert an equal sign and then go to sales and select manually the sales and subtract them and then get the profit. But we will try to make some mathematical calculus with Xlookup functions. So we know that for the profit, we need to subtract the acquisition price from the price per unit sold. So let's write here Xlookup. Then the lookup value will be this cell. Then the lookup array will be inventory. No, will be the sales. Open square bracket and write the product code, close square bracket, and for the return array it will be sales table and price per unit sold, close square bracket, minus another Xlookup function. We will again search for before, then lookup array will be from sales, but we could also go to inventory, right to the source. We will search for product ID. And then for the return array, we will use also inventory. And we will choose the acquisition price per unit, close square bracket, close round bracket. And it seems that I forgot to close the first Xlookup. So now we have used two Xlookup functions to look up for values from two separate tables. Let's try something else. Now, what if I want to look up a product by the name, but it seems that there are two or more products with the same name, even though it's a different product. So in our case, let's take banana. Let's go to our inventory table and let's search for banana. So it seems that we have three products with the same name, with banana, but they are different products. One of them is gelato, another one is an American ice cream, and the third one is an Italian sorbet. So in this case, we would want to use Xlookup with two lookup conditions. So let's say that we have here a product name, which is banana, and we have another column, which is product type. And we know that our banana is an ice cream product type from USA. So here we will write ice cream. And we want to look up the country of origin. So to look up the right value, let's first try to type in a standard one condition Xlookup value. So we are going to search for banana within the inventory table, product name column, and we need to get the country of origin. It will give us Italy. If we go back, it's incorrect because it was supposed to be USA. So if we have multiple strings, multiple identical strings, the Xlookup will get the first value. In our case is the banana gelato. But here we can include the second condition. So what we could say is search for B8 and ice cream within the inventory product name and inventory product type. So now we have an Xlookup function with two conditions. It looks for banana and for the ice cream. And it looks within the product name array and within the product type array. This is the way of using Xlookup with two conditions. Now you know which is my favorite Excel function, and I hope that will also become your favorite. If you want to learn more about Xlookup, check out my other video about the most common errors in Xlookup. If you found value in this video, leave it a thumbs up. It helps and means a lot. You might also enjoy my other content regarding Excel and Power Query. I wish you a pleasant day. See you.